Hi students, so I welcome you all to this new class, and we are almost at the end of this chapter, in which we are talking about the drainage and the rivers, the water bodies we are talking about. And today we shall see about the role of rivers in the Indian economy, So how important are the rivers in economy for development of a country and so on. So we studied that we have a number of rivers, some are very long, some are very small. So large as well as short rivers are there, and how important they are in promoting the economy of our country. That's what we are going to see today. You can take in your textbook page number 23. Role of rivers in the economy. So rivers have been of fundamental importance throughout the human history. So not only in this present time, but even in the past, if you have to look, that people have been depending on the rivers for a lot of things in their life. So it was very much importance in the life of people of olden times as well. And water from the rivers is a basic natural resource. So one thing for what people depended on the rivers was to get fresh water. So river has been a source of fresh water for the people to use their at home or use for their field and so on. So it was used for bathing, drinking, cooking, or using for field and so on. So rivers have been of great importance in the life of the people, and therefore river banks have been attracting the people to settle down there. So we will find where the rivers are flowing, a lot of people have come and settled down there, especially the delta where rivers have deposited the soil, the silt and so on, and forming the delta, a large delta, vast delta. There people have settled and they have started cultivation there because the soil is very fertile. Every year the river brings new alluvial soil, and which is very fertile, and without using much fertilizers we will be able to cultivate there and produce a lot of crops. So it has been attracting the people to come and settle at the river banks. Then these settlements have now become big cities. So all the times few people came and settled down, then more people came. So now after many years, now these river bank places where people settle, now they have become big cities. That means population has increased there. Population has become very large because of this place was very good at the bank of the river, and more people came and settled down there. Then let's see what are the usefulness of the rivers. So we already said that it is used for home purpose, for irrigation and so on. So we can say irrigation is one of the major benefits we get from a river. Especially people who settle down at the river banks, their main purpose was to do cultivation, because they can take water from the river. Even if there is no rain, they can use water from the river and do their cultivation. So that is one purpose, irrigation. Then second purpose is navigation. Another purpose of the river or usefulness of river is for navigation. Navigation means for journey. If we have a boat, we can travel through the river and reach the other side. So we are not talking about a small river of 1 kilometer or half a kilometer, but such rivers like Brahmaputra and so very vast. So to cross from one side to the other side, we can go by boat. There are different types of boats are there, which are done by things in the port and so on. If it is a big river, even ships can go. So that is used for navigation. Then another purpose is hydropower generation. So from the big river we can make dam and store up the water, and that water can be later used for producing hydroelectric power. So these are the main purposes of electricity. Which are they? First of all, it is for irrigation. Secondly, it is used for navigation. And thirdly, it is used for providing or producing hydroelectric power. So you can underline which are the main purposes of river: irrigation, navigation, and production of hydroelectric power. Then in a country like India, we know almost 47% of the people are depending on agriculture. Therefore, people need water for irrigation, because if you completely depend on the monsoon rain, sometimes monsoon rain is early, sometimes it is late, sometimes it is too much, sometimes it is very less. So if the farmers completely depend on this monsoon rain, then their crops, they are not sure of it, whether they will get sufficient water or not, because monsoon is always not regular. Therefore, there should be a second option of irrigation. In case the rain is less, people should have the option of irrigating their fields from the river. So for Indians, it is very much necessary. So much of people depend on this river for irrigation, especially the farmers. And if the farmers don't cultivate properly, then naturally all others are also going to be affected. So don't just think that irrigation is only meant for farmers. It is because of farmers irrigate their field and produce the crops that all of us are able to eat our food. If farmers don't cultivate anything, then there will be no food at all. So all will be affected. Therefore, it is meant for everyone. Don't just think it is only for farmers. Now, one major thing that we are facing in our country is river pollution. We say river is so much important for us, but we don't realize or recognize all those things. In our place, there are so many big rivers are there, a lot of water is there, and we don't care who produces electricity or who uses it for navigation or irrigation and so on. We think that everything is available for us. We get electricity connection, we get food. We don't know how people are producing these things, how these crops are cultivated and so on. So since we are not involved in this process, we are not much worried about the consequences as well. So we can see in some places people who are living near the river, they go and throw all their waste into the river. All the plastic products, all the bottles, all the human waste, everything is let into the river, and we become partners in polluting the river. So that's a great injustice that we are doing. After knowing all this importance of the rivers or the importance of the water, we ourselves do our share in polluting in the water, polluting the river. So it is our responsibility as human beings, as educated people, to prevent people from polluting the river. For throwing, river is not the place for depositing your waste. It is true the river will carry it away, but ultimately it will go and reach in some other place, into the sea, into the ocean and so on. So the entire world we are polluting. So instead we must find out a place where we can dispose of our waste, not into the water but into some other place. And what can be recycled, then we must take care, we must take initiative to recycle the waste and then keep our rivers clean and pure. That is very much essential for us. So the Growing domestic, municipal, industrial and agricultural demand for water from rivers naturally affects the quality of water. So we know without water we cannot survive. We already saw water or river is used for so many purposes. So we have our domestic use, we use it at home, we use it in the municipal area, water supply also is there. So the municipality is using the water. Then in the industry they need water for producing a lot of things. Then for agriculture it is used for irrigation and so on. So the use of water is increasing day by day, and that is affecting the quality of the water as well. So water we need to make it available everywhere, and so if we are not careful, what happens? The quality of the water will be affected. We will be using the polluted water. Then as a result, so because of this human needs are increasing, what happens? More and more water is being drained out of the river, reducing their volume. So from where do we get this water for satisfying all the human needs? We need to take out water from the river. We drain out, we make canals and take out water from the river. And so when all the people start using water from the river, pumping out or through drain or through canal, then the amount of water left in the river becomes less and less. So as the river is going through, flowing down and down, the volume of water, the amount of water becomes less and less. So towards the end then, the river will have very less water. So that is one problem that we are facing. Then on the other hand, a heavy load of untreated sewage and industrial effluents are emptied into the rivers. So on the one hand we take out the water from the river and the amount of water in the river becomes less and less. Then on the other hand we do again great harm to the river. We are sending lot of waste from the factories, from the industries, from the homes, we are sending into the river. So first of all the water is less, then we put a waste also into that water, then that water gets polluted. So the industries and the factories and so, they are supposed to treat the waste that is coming out from the factory. We are not allowed to simply send them into the river, but do the processing, cleaning. We have to do that water. The wastewater should be cleaned before sending them into the river, because it contains a lot of chemicals and harmful materials, harmful elements, and therefore the water should be purified. We call it treat the water and then send into the river. Many of the industrial people are not doing that. They are trying to make maximum profit, and in that process they do great harm to this river and water sources. And so when we send this dirty water or waste water into the river without treating, without cleaning, what happens? The quality of the water is coming down, and it also, the river also has got some self-cleaning capacity. If the river is strong enough, sufficient water is there, flowing with full strength, then it has got its own capacity to clean little bit of dirt or waste that is there. The river will clean by itself. But when we send too much of chemicals into it from the factory, from the home, from the toilets and so on, then the cleaning capacity of the river is lost. The river water becomes less, the flow becomes very slow, and it is not able to clean itself. That is a great thing, great harm that we are doing. Then, for example, given the adequate stream flow, the Ganga water is able to dilute and assimilate pollution loads within 20 kilometers of large cities. So, let us take the example of Ganga river. It has got the ability to clean waste coming from 20 kilometers nearby the river if it is flowing with full strength. So if the flow is less, then it cannot clean. So if it is natural flow is there, the strength of flow is there, then it can clean up to the waste that it is coming from 20 kilometers of the large cities. So within 20 kilometers, whatever waste it is coming, it is able to clean by itself. That's why we say the self-cleaning capacity of the river. But if it is too much polluted, if the speed is slow, then it is not able to clean. But the increasing urbanization and industrialization. So the urbanization is increasing. That means more and more people are coming and settling in the town, and the town is expanded. More and more area is occupied by the people. Then industrialization also is increasing. More and more industries are starting, and therefore the amount of waste also will increase. And it is all happened, and the pollution level in many rivers has been rising. So as the population in the city is increasing, more houses are built, there will be more waste. More industries are built, there will be more waste. And ultimately all this waste is landing up in the river, and therefore the pollution is increasing. Then concern over rising pollution in our rivers led to the launching of various action plans to clean the rivers. So, though it is a bit late, people have realized that because of human activities, most of the rivers are getting polluted, especially river Ganga, and so is so dirty. People go and put in that all that dirty things, and so the river has been polluted to such a great extent. So people started forming action groups. Let's clean Ganga action group and so on. So people come forward, they form a society or action group, and they want to clean the rivers. They want to take out all the dirty things and keep it clean. And how does our health get affected by polluted river water? So we said we are depending on the river so much for our washing, for bathing, taking bath, taking washing clothes, even for cooking food and so on. So if you are polluting the river on the one hand, on the other hand we are using this water for our home purpose, then how are our health going to be? So we dirty the water and we use that water. So our health, we are spoiling ourselves. So that is a great danger to our health. We may be thinking easy way of disposing of our waste by throwing them into the river, and we use that river water again, and we spoil our health, we get sick, and we have to spend more money for treatment and so on. So we ourselves are responsible for the ill health, the bad health that we are experiencing. Then we can think about what will be the life if there is no pure water, if there is no clean water, only dirty water is available. What will be the situation? So if we could have a debate on this, it would have been very nice. More and more ideas, more and more awareness about the need for clean water would have come out. So unfortunately in this present situation we are not able to have this debate. At least you can think in your own mind, what are the advantages if we have water, clean water, what are the disadvantages if I do not have clean water. So try to find out something, some new idea, new points, so that you will have certain new ideologies as well. And you can also see in your textbook in the right corner about an action plan that was formed in order to clean the rivers. So it is called NRCP, National River Conservation Plan. So we said so many action plans were formed, so many action groups were formed in order to take care of the pollution issues of the river. So this was one such group that was formed in 2000, March 31st, in order to clean up Ganga river was there. So activities of Ganga action plan, that was another group. Then a committee was formed and they were given some time in order to clean up river Ganga, and after 5 years they tried to clean up the major rivers in our country. They took 5 years, and these have been applied to the major polluted rivers in our country. So this action plan was concerned not only for river Ganga but all the major rivers in our country. Then the Ganga action plan phase 2 has been merged with NRCP. So action plan, Ganga action plan phase 1 was over, then the river was still not clean enough, so they wanted to start second phase. So then another program was started, National River Conservation Plan. So this Ganga action plan and this National River Conservation Plan, these two plans were combined together, and all the rivers in our country were included into it in order to clean it. Then a lot of rivers are there. The expanded NRCP now covers 152 towns located along 27 interstate rivers in 16 states. So according to this plan, NRCP, almost 27 rivers are taken care to protect from pollution. 27 rivers, and they are flowing through 16 different states. They are crossing 16 different states. So this program is meant for all the country, and 27 rivers are under this program. People try to keep these rivers free from pollution and try to do the cleaning and so on. Then it is also going through pollution abatement works are being taken up in 57 towns. So this action group also is taking up pollution abatement programs in order to remove all this waste from the river. Then a total of 215 schemes are there. A lot of projects are sanctioned in order to clean the rivers of India, because it is so important and government has realized it. Therefore, government is trying to allot a lot of fund in order to be successful in cleaning up these polluted rivers in our country. So far 69 schemes have been completed under the action plan, and 1 million liters of sewage is targeted to be intercepted, diverted and treated. So this action group also is taking care of the waste that is pushed into the rivers. They make sure that either they stop sending this polluted water from the factories into the river, or they divert it and send some other place, not to the river. Or if it is going to the river, then they make sure that it is cleaned. It is cleaned. It is treated. Only then they will be able to send it to the river. So these are the steps, methods that are taken up by the government and different action plans. So we can also form our own action plan to clean the water sources in our own area, because if we wait for somebody else to do it, then we are the losers. We are going to suffer. So let us not wait for somebody else to do, but let us form an action group and let us try to protect our water sources and keep them clean and pure, so that all will be able to experience good health. So we come to the end of this lesson, and let us also see a few exercises that are given there in the textbook. So first one is choose the right answer from the options given below. First one is, which one of the following describes the drainage pattern resembling the branches of a tree? So you know the answer, is it not? Number B, dendritic. Dendritic is the answer. Then second one is, in which of the following states is the Ula Lake located? Ular Lake is located in which state? Number D, Jammu and Kashmir. Then question number 3. The river Narmada has its source at, answer is number C, Amarkandak. Amarkandak. Then number 4. Which one of the following lakes is a saltwater lake? So which one is a saltwater lake? Answer is Sambar Lake. Sambar. Then number 5. Which one of the following is the longest river in the peninsular India? The longest river in the peninsular India is Godavari. Because of that it is also known as Dashin Ganga. Then number 6. Which one among the following rivers flows through a rift valley? Answer is number D, Tapi. Tapi is the river that is flowing through a rift valley. Then other questions are answering brief that I will give you later. Then take question number 3. Below are given the names of few lakes of India. Group them under 2 categories: natural and created by human beings. So there are lake names are given there. You have to say which ones are natural and which ones are human beings. So first one is Ular Lake. Ular Lake is a natural lake. You can mark in your textbook. It is a natural lake. Second one is Nainital. What lake it is? Nainital. That is also natural lake. Then third one, Gobind Sagar. Gobind Sagar is man-made, human-made. Then another one, Barapani. Barapani is a natural lake. Then Sambar, natural lake. Nizam Sagar, it is human-made. Then Nagarjuna Sagar, that is also human-made. Then Dal, that is natural lake. Bamikal, natural lake. Lokar, natural lake. Chilika, natural lake. Rana Pradhan Sagar, that is human-made. Then Pulikat, natural lake. Hirakund, that also is natural lake. So these are the natural lakes and human-made lakes. Then for your homework, you have map skills. I have given here map skills. So draw a map of India and mark and label the following rivers: Ganga, Satluj, Damodar, Krishna, Narmada, Tapi, Mahanadi and Brahmaputra. So draw the map and draw these rivers, mark these rivers also. And also in the same map you show the lakes: Chilika Lake, Sambar Lake, Ular Lake, Pulikat Lake and Kolayur Lake. So show these lakes also in your map. So and submit me after 2 days. Okay. So draw nicely, learn nicely, going to draw the maps and find out